Thank you, Mayor Dyer. It's wonderful to be back again in Orlando with you and to see the remarkable work that you, the housing agency, and your team are doing. So congratulations. This is a well-deserved competitive award. We had far more applications than we could fund around the country, and we were enormously impressed with what we saw in this application, and it's consistent with what we've seen from your team time and again in making sure taxpayer funds are used effectively, quickly, and efficiently. So thank you for your leadership. Ms. Polgis, thank you for your leadership as well. We heard that she had stayed on for a fourth year as president to make sure that this renovation would get done to the benefit of the residents here. Thank you all for you fighting for this funding as well to make sure your home is as energy efficient, as welcoming, as much like any home that anyone in America could dream for right here at Kinneret. So thank you for your leadership as well. I want to also thank Ed Jennings, our regional director, who we stole from the state of Florida, moved him to Atlanta to our regional office there, but he is back in Florida as often as he possibly can be, fighting for this district, fighting for the entire state to make sure that the recovery from this crisis happens as quickly and as effectively as possible to make sure that communities around the state recover. Most of all, I want to say thank you to the two congresspeople that are standing behind me, Alan Grayson and Corrine Brown. There are many things I could say about their leadership, but the single most important thing I can say is that we would not be standing here today, we would not be celebrating this $1.5 million grant if not for their courage in fighting to make sure that the Recovery Act passed Congress and has brought literally billions of dollars of benefits to the state of Florida and tens of thousands of jobs to this community right here. Thank you, Congressman, for your leadership. These apartments here at Kinneret are a testament to how far we have come under the leadership of President Obama as we've worked to reverse a decade of failed economic policies. Remember that on the day the president walked into the Oval Office, we lost almost 800,000 jobs in 1 month. 800,000 jobs. And we were experiencing the steepest decline in our economy since the Great Depression. That began to change with the Recovery Act, which has cut taxes for 95% of working families, rebuilt thousands of homes like those right behind us, rebuilt highways and bridges, and put 3 million Americans back to work, including 167,000 right here in the state of Florida. And while we are still digging out of that very deep hole that the president inherited, we've now experienced 9 straight months of private sector job growth. Now, as the president often says, the only piece of economic news that folks still looking for work want to hear is, you're hired. More and more people are hearing those words because of the Recovery Act. When he signed the Recovery Act into law, he said it would do 3 things: create jobs, lay the foundation for long-term economic growth, and help those most harmed by this economic crisis. Here at Kinneret, we see exactly those 3 things happening as we celebrate today. First, creating jobs. The $1.56 million in funding that we provided to green Kinneret II apartments is part of a $250 million effort where we are greening HUD-assisted housing across the country through a competitive program funding only the best of those applications. Thanks to the Recovery Act, the Green Retrofit Program will create thousands of jobs as workers retrofit older federally assisted multifamily apartments with the next generation of energy efficient technologies. Right here, we will create 50 construction jobs. That does not include the indirect jobs, $300,000 in new windows, which will help to create jobs at the window factories beyond those 50 jobs and other indirect jobs. And importantly, there are 20 jobs right here in Kinneret II, part of the 38 jobs on site overall here, to to maintain these technologies and to maintain these buildings in high quality shape for the long term as well. So this is not just creating construction jobs immediately, 50 of them right on site, but also longer term jobs to ensure that people remain employed in this area as well.